Well, today was a strictly engineering day. Um, I was getting desperado, and I had to get to a point. I had to get to a point where I felt like I was doing something. So I had this just came off the printer. I don't know if I'm focusing very well or not, but at any rate, it's got all of the pieces in there: the mounting screws, the holes for the smoker. I've enlarged the holes for the lid. I didn't print the lid yet, and it cleaned up pretty nice. I am not at all happy with this material because it's so glossy, but it seems strong. I'm squeezing it and it doesn't move. There seems to be plenty of room for the I can't see through the camera and do anything. It seems to be plenty of room for the heater and the smoke. And I showed you yesterday how we can, or I don't know if I did or not, but at any rate, there is a test box I made here the other week. This was another test box that I built to verify some things, and I just glued a motor on. Didn't have the screws, so I just glued the motor on. It's funny, it still runs, to try to get a fit. You know, how will this run, or how will this look in this engine? And I went back and forth and back and forth, and finally I just went back to my absolute first job in mechanical engineering, and I worked with some Danish engineers, really wonderful people. Torkel Jensen from Denmark was just a great mentor for me. At any rate, we took to making scale drawings, oversized drawings, and so I did that. I made a scale drawing of the chassis. It's 1 square equals 2 millimeters. So I measured it in millimeters. I draw it out in the squares, and then I get a better visualization with that. And then I did the side view the same way. So I put in all of the dimensions I can get my hands on, and I converted them from inches to the scale, and then put them metric to scale, put them down on the paper, and then I do my isometrics. This is a front view, and this is a side view, and that's a top view. And I transferred the numbers over, and then I needed a scale model of the smoke, so that's what this is. This is that scale to show you what the differences are. And so then I could set this on here. I could kind of line it up and see where it was going to fit, and how I would have clearances for the motor, and where the motor would be relative to the screw. And it was getting a little scary, but I think I have it now. I bring the screw in. I don't put a nut on it. I keep it flush. This thing can come down flat. This is going to be 4 plus 4, so that's 8 inches high. It's going to have a little 1-inch wall around the front, like the toe of a shoe. So the front end of this thing is going to just slide. Oh, I'm way up here. Slide right in, and then the set down in the notch is going to set down in a notch in a support, and this support is going to stick way up. I know it sounds crazy. It's going to stick up. I'm making a sample of it. If it works and all of that, I'm going to put a gusset in here so it'd have some reinforcement. I needed alignments, so I've got this screw hole for an alignment, and I also have this cavity. It's just another hole. There's no hole in it. It's just a cavity. But I'm going to use that. I'm going to put a dowel-like pin in it, piece of plastic. It's going to slide down in here, and then that's going to center it. And then I put the screw in, and that's going to stick out over this nose a little bit, and then it's going to have this little toe-like thing, and that's going to hold the smoke. And the idea is the smoke will sit up high, and we'll clear that screw, and it'll be bolted back here, and it'll be nudged in there. And when I set all this together, that's the alignment for the smoke hole. this smoke hole is going to be right near the edge, right where it wants to be, and that's the idea anyway. So from all of this today, I made no modifications to the smokehouse. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's as good as I can get, and what I may do is send it out to get it printed by somebody with a better machine. Right now I just don't have a good enough machine, and that's not anyone's fault, just the way it is. Now, the part that I'm getting made right now looks like this. Oh God, I know, it's like, what is he doing? The smoke, it's not to scale, right? So the smoke is going to be in here. That's like the toe of the shoe. It's going to be bolted in back here, right? I don't know if I can do that. Do you think I can screen that down? That would be funny, wouldn't it? I'll bet I can. Look at that. Ha! Okay, let's try this. Now, there it is. That's what it will look like, just like that. Oh, get away so you can see it. Get my hand out of the way. There. So it's going to sit there. It's going to sit in there like this, right in there, and then the notch in the back, it's going to slide down and screw in. And so if I just go to a straight side shot, let's see if I can do that. It's usually called the right side. Bingo. There it is. Not quite small enough, but you get the idea. About like that. About like that. Oh, I'm not too close. You're too far away. Whatever. But it's going to be about like that. Anyway, we'll see. Okay? I'm printing it. I know it looks like hell in here. How's that? That looks like it's just going to fall apart, but I've told it to put in struts and hold those up while it's printing. And it started out, and you can see there's one of the struts it's putting in, a little support piece. See it? And that's going to be for the other part, and that's going to be for the other part. So there's putting supports in, and it's going to build all of this up. It's going to be huge. It's going to look like a mass. But then the supports are thin and hollow, so you can break them off real easy, and then you should have left the part you want. Now, I don't know. I've never done it. This is just a goofy part. I've never seen anything or done anything quite this outrageous without, a lot more support. But that's where I'm at. That's what I did. I don't know why. I think it'll work. I think it'll work. The nose will fit in here. There's clearance for the motor, which sits down a little more than the nose. Boy, it looks like it looks like that might not be high enough. Oh God. Well, like they used to say, that's why they have erasers. Well, that's why we have the redo and delete and go back and undo buttons. So we'll see how it turns out. Anyway, that's been the entire day, and it's 4:30 already. I just can't believe it. I started this. I just kept going and going, and I got it all to scale. I felt really good about the design. Actually, what I was gonna do was work on my smoke. I started to do all this for the smoke, and then it just sort of got sidetracked. As soon as I saw I was getting close printing with the firebox. I thought I was gonna do the firebox, and then when I saw I was getting close with the smoker, I said, oh, I better focus on that. And what I wanted to build was the lid, and I didn't even do that. So here we are. Is this ADD or not? I don't know, but we will see how precise this stuff can really get. And it may not, it may not be. We'll just see. There it is. That's my day. Later. Bye.